Okay. We are muted down and ready to begin this morning. And I'd like to start this morning with a treatment for peace. There's a lot going on in the world that we are aware of. There's always a lot going on in the world. Sometimes we're not aware of it. But we can always be aware of peace. So let us go to the heart, to the center of love, to the place where the divine meets the human. And let us recognize that the divine presence is always at peace. It never struggles. It never worries. It is totally unaffected by these things that we experience. The divine has created each and every one of us out of itself. Each and every person. Each and every sentient being. So the peace of the divine, the peace that passes understanding, is already present within each and every one of us. It is present right where strife seems to be. It is present in the hearts of the leaders. It is present in the hearts of the soldiers. It is present in the hearts of those who are fleeing for safety. It may not be realized. It may not be recognized yet, but it is there. And Dr. Holmes tells us when deep calls unto deep, deep answers. So this very day we start by finding that peace in our hearts so that we might share the gift. As we come together, we recognize the perfect harmony in life. Every star and every planet is in its place at its time. The seasons follow in perfect order. The butterflies migrate thousands of miles and find their way back home to a place they've never seen, but where their ancestors were born. The whales move from pole to pole without a map, without a compass. The birds migrate thousands of miles to arrive at Chesapeake Bay at the exact moment that their food source is most plentiful. There is order. There is harmony in creation. That order, that harmony, that peace is ours now. As we breathe in peace. As we breathe out peace. We imagine then that this peace is like a white light that surrounds us, that fills us, that penetrates every cell, every organ, every tissue, every thought, every emotion, every feeling. We completely surrender to the experience of God's peace. And now we extend that peace to all who are crying out for peace. We imagine there's a little door in our chest, just over our hearts. And as we open that door, a beam of light, which is the peace that passes understanding, shines out from us. And right now, somewhere in the world, someone is crying out for peace. And our light finds them and surrounds them and nurtures them as a mother would hold her baby. We hold them in this light till they too are filled, till their fear is gone, till their anger is gone, till the strife is gone. And once they are filled, they open a door on their chest, and the light of God's peace flows from them to another, and to another, and to another. And now we see the entire planet surrounded by this light of God's peace, the peace that passes understanding, the principle that is not bound by precedent. Divine love. We are grateful to know that there's a power in the universe that responds unto us according to our belief. We release this treatment to that perfect law, knowing so certainly that it is done, that we say together, and so it is. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being with us. I just want to make a comment about the opening treatment for peace. Many years ago, Lori and I started participating in a world healing meditation, world peace meditation. It was held on the last day of the year every year. It was sponsored by John Randolph Price. And what the group did was they just invited everyone who wished to participate at exactly noon Greenwich Mean Time, which at the stroke of noon Greenwich Mean Time, that is the only moment of the day that the entire world is on the same day. All other times, it's today here, it's tomorrow there, kind of across the international date line. But we participated in this. We would get up. We lived in Denver at the time, so it was 5 o'clock in the morning Denver time, and we would get up and we would just sit and participate, knowing that there were millions of people around the world who were doing whatever their tradition was, whatever their practice was, whether it be prayer, whether it be meditation, whether it be chanting. It didn't matter what the technique was. But they were deliberately turning their attention to God's peace and seeing that peace unfold on the face of the earth. And one morning I was sitting in that meditation, and my mind went to the Berlin Wall. I wasn't trying to make it do anything. It's just as I was sitting there envisioning peace, the image of the Berlin Wall came into mind. And a hole started to appear. The wall started to crack, and there were people chiseling away and making a hole. And as the hole appeared, soldiers from the other side, from East Berlin, stepped through the wall to the west, and people were laying down their arms, and people were hugging each other and greeting each other. It was an incredible experience. And then a few years later, it actually happened. It unfolded in much that way. And I sat and watched the images on TV as the wall came tumbling down. And it was just absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing, because I felt as if I had seen a glimpse of that a few years ago, a few years before. Perhaps that cause of the unfoldment of peace was already in consciousness, already working its way through, already pushing its way through the apparent restrictions that were on it. The imposition that was on God's peace, but peace prevailed. So I invite you to reflect on this opening treatment. It'll be on YouTube. It'll be a separate post on YouTube with today's date on it. But you can play it back when you want. You can share it when you want. But please recognize that what we are doing when we are engaging in our spiritual practice, it is more than just helping ourselves to feel good. We are, Dr. Holmes tells us, we are setting loose a spiritual entity in a mental universe. We are starting a movement, or we are participating in a movement, or we are becoming aware of a movement, a wave of consciousness, a wave of thought. And Gandhi said we must be the change we wish to see in the world. So by bringing ourselves to that experience of peace within and then sharing it, we are doing something tangible. We are sharing love. So thank you for participating in that. This morning, we're going to come together and